32nd board is being raised at a very wet Sandown International Motor Raceway. It's round one of the 2006 A Porsche Part 944 Challenge. Brent Rose is on pole position. Alongside of him is the car of Robert Lang. Dick Howe just behind them. Paul Stevenson, the former Formula 2 champion of Australia, is behind him. Then there's Greg Doyle, Michael Cullinan, Adrian Zadro, Dennis O'Keefe, John Goddard, and they're racing. And Dick Howe has not left the starting line, so Dick Howe has stalled at the start, but it's a drag to the first corner between Brent Rose and Lang. As they head down towards turn one for the first time, it's Lang who's got the jump now on Rose. But here comes Rose up the inside. And Rose moves into the lead. So it's Rose ahead of Lang. Then comes Stevenson in third position as they tiptoe around the very wet and very dark Sandown International Motor Raceway. And getting very sideways there was the car of Brent Rose as they head through turn four for the first time. We watch him go through. Stevenson looks like he's lost some positions as well. Dennis O'Keefe seems to have come through there as the field tiptoe around. And that's Bruce Rose going out very wide. So Bruce Rose spinning around there as well. So as you can see, the conditions are very, very wet. Up the back straight they go, and it's Rose still in the lead. Down into this very wet part of the circuit at Dandenong Road corner, one of the lowest parts of the circuit. Water tends to lie down here and also run across the road in rivers. You can see very, very slippery down there, very sideways as Brent Rose comes out of Dandenong Road. In second place is Robert Lang. These two were the cars to beat last year in the Porsche Part 944 Challenge Series, and it looks like that's going to be the way again early in season 2006. But as I said, we've got a former well-credentialed Formula 2 champion in Paul Stevenson in the making a return to motorsport in his 944 as well, and he's back in about fourth position now and putting a challenge on Dennis O'Keefe. And speaking of a challenge, Robert Lang now looking for a way up the inside now of Brent Rose as they head down towards turn one once again, but he just can't do it. Has to fall back now behind the Melbourne's cheapest car, 944. If you're wondering what the car is in front, the Falcon or Commodore, I think it was a Commodore. The saloon cars are also running here this weekend, and they're running a separate race at the tail of the field here. So they will pop up occasionally, but that's not our concern at the moment. We're concentrating on the main game, which is the Porsche Part 944 Challenge, and this is the battle for the lead. Brent Rose and Robert Lang once again heading up the back straight. They're coming up already on the tail of one of these saloon cars, so you can see the difference between the saloon cars that are not slow and these 944s, and then they go blasting past them. So as you can see, there's plenty of pace in these 944s, very affordable racing, and a very popular category, and as we've said many times here on In Pit Lane, one of the success stories of the Victorian State Race Series. And there you can see Rose going around, just sort of missed the A-pits there just a little bit, but it may well have been deliberate in order to get away from some of the very wet patches down there at Dandenong Road. We're back on the main straight now with our leader. And once again, Lang very quick down this main straight part of the circuit. Comes right up on the tail now of Rose and is challenging once again. So yet again, this is the battle for the lead. And you can see they've established a huge lead over the rest of the pack. Brent Rose into the braking area and around turn four. Lang right behind him as they head up the back straight once again. Porsche Part 944 Challenge Series, the 944s, the normally aspirated version. There was a turbocharged version of these cars, but this is in fact a 2.5 litre four-cylinder engine. The cars in the main very, very reliable and handle very well with the transaxle, so they're a very well balanced car, and they need to be in these conditions. Once again, tiptoeing around that corner at Dandenong Road. Car number 3 is the car of Robert Lang. Just can't quite get on the tail of Rose at the moment. Further back in third now is battle between Paul Stevenson, Adrian Zadro and Dennis O'Keefe. And, oh, Lang runs very well. Lang almost hits the wall. So, oh, a very lucky escape there for Lang. Got it very wide out onto the wet stuff coming onto the main straight, and was very lucky to miss the Armco there. So that certainly affected his pace, and whether he's going to be able to make up that gap now. As you can see, Rose has got a considerable gap. Down into Dandenong Road again, there's Zadro, O'Keefe, Stevenson. So the battle for the lead seems to be well and truly established now. Rose is certainly well in front after that slight mistake there by Lang, but this is the battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. We've got a few of them together now. Zadro in the yellow car is in front. Right behind him is the car of Dennis O'Keefe, Paul Stevenson behind him as well. So these three very closely locked together. Car number 10 going around there is the car of Greg Doyle. And, oh, he spun. Greg Doyle's gone around, so just caught that. So Greg Doyle has spun, and he's got a lot to do, and that's a very tricky position there coming off of turn 4. Some of the other cars going through there. Car number 96 there is heading through. Can't see, that's Chris Lewis-Williams. So Chris Lewis-Williams in amongst the saloon cars, just lapping them at the moment. So it's not a bad idea, actually. It seems to be working quite well, having the saloon cars running. They started from a separate grid. The 944s went off first, and then the saloon cars started a little bit later, just to keep them apart, so there wasn't too much confusion. It seems to be working well. So hopefully we'll see the saloon cars back in action, because that's a growing class. But unfortunately, it's one of those things. We just have so many categories here in Australia, and also the demands to be a part of this Victorian State Circuit Racing Series. Despite what you hear in some quarters, this is still the premier state-based series in Australia. And I think that's Dick Howe coming back through the field. Yes, it certainly is Dick Howe, so he's recovering from that poor start. And there's somebody off there. I think that's Martin Bailey going off, and he's being passed now by John Smallman. But Bailey fights back now, and he could go around turn 4 side by side, which is never easy, and they're going to battle it on up the back straight. We've joined them at the end of the main straight and going down to Dandenong Road, and it's Smallman who's managed to hold that advantage. So Smallman keeps that position just ahead of Bailey. Back in the pack again with Rose. And so somebody's gone off there. That's Cartwin. That's Bedgegood. Barry Bedgegood has spun. Back with our leader once again, coming into sight. Last lap board has been shown, and the checkered flag is about to come out, and your winner will be Bruce Rose from Melbourne's cheapest cars. In second place is Robert Lang. Waiting for this battle for third position now, and here it is, and Stevenson has got through on Dennis O'Keefe and is now putting pressure on Zadro in the run up to the line. So this is the fight now for third, fourth and fifth. Zadro is in third position now, hanging on grimly to the position ahead of Stevenson. We go out of our sight and we wait for them to come back into our view once again. You can see just how far in front our two leaders were, and as they come onto the main straight once again, you can see them Indian file. It's like a Formula V race, but it's Zadro. Zadro takes third position, Stevenson second, then comes O'Keefe. Michael Phillipson rounds out the top 6.